Right, everybody. Thanks for joining me on this drive. So yesterday I took the new update 10.69.25.1 and I've been driving it around for a day or so, so I thought I'd just show you a video to show you how well it's been doing. All right, so very short trip here. We could see we're going to make just a couple of left-hand turns to get out of the parking lot, short stint on Gulf Road, and then another couple left-hand turns to get into the parking lot at the Target store. All right, this is interesting. So I've actually not attempted this drive scenario before. Part of the issue here is going to be no markings. So the car is at a spot where I don't think other traffic would expect it to make a turn. So I just took over at that point. I'll get us started right here. And now we've got full self-driving beta engaged. So not a terrible job. At least the car made an attempt to get out of the parking ramp, or the parking lot here at the mall. We're gonna make a right turn. We want to be in the left-hand lane to continue navigation. So let's see, does the car do it? It does not. But you know what, that's okay, because actually this lane can make a left-hand turn. It's marked as going straight ahead, but there is no straight ahead. It is a T intersection. And we do see other traffic up here making the turn. So our car actually wants to get into the left lane, and we have another car there. So I'm going to override that. Just get over here. There we go. So I might have found the limit of FSD Beta 10.69.25.1 so far, and that's getting into a tight left-hand turn situation. So making a right-hand turn, immediate left turn. I'm going to need to test that a little more just to make sure that the car does have the capability to do that. But at this point, I'm not really sure. All right, we've got a green light. The car is going to want to continue on ahead. Just checking all the cameras, make sure everything's good. So we do want to be in the left lane, but we do have some other cars that are going to be entering the freeway here on our left side. Made a nice lane change to get into the left lane to continue navigation. Now we do have two options for left turn up here. There are two left turn lanes. The car will want to get into either one of these. So it's choosing the leftmost lane, and that's actually appropriate for the route here on the screen, because the next lane over that makes a left would continue on and turn into the Target store off of this road. So we're actually in the appropriate lane to continue this route. Does a really nice job maintaining the center of that turn lane. I really like that. One of the concerns that I had earlier with full self-driving was in making the turn, it would actually not know which lane it was in and want to drift between the two lanes, sometimes even changing lanes mid-turn. In that case, we did not have the option to do that because we made the turn with another car off to our right the whole time. So glad that it did stay in this lane. And we're going to make a left-hand turn right here. So just waiting for this car in front of us to go, and our car will check for traffic. Seeing that it's clear, it's going to make the turn as well. And then we'll turn into this drive into the Target store. And our car did a great job. Now we do have some kind of wonky traffic right here. Does it know to make its way around? Actually, don't see it. It sees the car in front of us as an obstacle. So we see this car is blue right here. Once that car gets out of the way, we'll continue on. And we want to go straight through this parking lot. Nice. Actually, it did a good job recovering that. I wasn't sure what was going to happen at that point. All right, so we're waiting for the light to change green. I hope you're enjoying this little skateboard show that's going on in front of us. We're going to see how the car performs as we come up on those skateboarders. Got some guy doing tricks here, and he gets out of the way just in time. Very good. We do have a car, looks like just about to pull out. For some reason the speed zone there changed to 35, so our speed increased pretty aggressively. And we're just going to continue on from here. Our next stop and the end of the trip will be the Eau Claire Supercharger. So we are in the right lane. The right lane is closed. We do have some construction marked up here. This time we've got a pretty solid line of snow, which does mark what the lane is. So we're going to see how the car gets through this. I'm just going to let it go. It's waiting for confirmation from me. And it actually seems pretty content to hang back here just for a minute and then continues on. So it went through there nicely. However, the car was a little hesitant, knowing what it should do for the route that we're taking. So it's a little confused right now about making a left-hand turn, because this is technically a left turn lane to go left up the hill, and it knows it's in the left turn lane based on the data, but the route actually continues straight forward. So now we've got a nice path through that intersection. We're going to follow this Jeep through the rest of the construction here. And again, a little bit of confusion. The last version that I had of FSD Beta actually made it through there without any hesitation. And that could have just been a one-off, but this time I just felt a little bit of hesitation from the car getting through that lane change. But now we're back on our route and we're doing pretty good. I'm going to change the route up just a little bit from the supercharger because I don't necessarily want to precondition the battery. All right, so essentially the same destination, but we're saying that we're going to the mall instead of the supercharger, and that will prevent the battery from preconditioning, which I don't necessarily want to do because I'm not going to supercharge today. I'll just take it home and charge overnight. So today we do have pretty good lane markings on the road. I do see a little bit of snow covering some of the markings, but for the most part the car is seeing pretty distinct marks. We do have a car pulling out in front of us. We should see a little slowdown for that. As we settle in behind, nope, we're going flow of traffic. That's good. I've really had mixed results with full self-driving beta in the winter months, primarily because of the lack of visibility of lane markings on the road. But today we seem to be doing pretty well. The car is behaving very confidently through this drive. Haven't seen any really significant issues, and I could see where this would be, would start to feel more useful in terms of being fully autonomous, driving from point A to point B. It does still require interaction with the steering wheel, which I must say that I'm a little bit annoyed about. At this point with full self-driving, and I get it, we need to make sure that we're safe, and we need to make sure that full self-driving beta has a good reputation in terms of being safe. So we don't want people not paying attention when they're driving. But my eyes have been facing forward through this drive, and there's an interior camera in the car that should be able to see my eyes and see them facing forward. So I'm not sure why I'm interacting with the steering wheel as much at this point in the development of FSD Beta. I would say that's probably my only, not really frustration, but only nuisance about the system at this point. It does feel pretty safe as I drive it, and it's starting to feel a lot more like I would drive it, so a lot more human-like in terms of what I would expect as a person driving. I'm not seeing a lot of erroneous lane changes from the car in navigation. It is following her out pretty good. And I'm feeling like, in terms of general safety, the car is driving very well. The other point where I notice a need to interact with it is when it's making lane changes. So right there, it actually didn't require an interaction from me, but if we are traveling down the freeway, which we will be here in just a minute, and the car wants to make a lane change to pass another car, I've got it set to have just a little bit of a vibrate in the steering wheel to let me know that it's going to do that. The other option is to set a chime to have it beep before it makes a lane change, or you can do both, vibrate and beep. But I prefer the silent approach so I don't annoy passengers constantly during the drive, and so I just have it set to do a little bit of a vibrate. What I notice is that when the steering wheel begins to vibrate, the car will say, if I don't have my hand on the wheel, the car will say, place hands on the wheel or apply slight pressure to the wheel, give me a message, and then I have to touch the wheel before it actually makes a lane change. And I feel, again, at this point, like the car should be able to make that lane change, just knowing that I'm paying attention to the road, just eyes forward, looking at other traffic around me, occasionally glancing in the mirror, the side view mirrors, and whatever indications are on the screen to monitor the driving. All right, so we are beginning to enter that speed increase, and you'll notice by all the tail lights now that we are entering nighttime. So it is still plenty light outside. I do still have the daytime indicator here on the screen, which is a white screen. When it's after sunset, that turns dark. So it is still daylight technically, but visibility is starting to go down, and we are starting to see little more lights and traffic out here as we get to quitting time at the end of the day. We're going to go through another speed zone increase to 55. And again, with that 5% under, I'm at 52, so I'm going to increase it up right up to the speed limit. At this point, I don't expect the car is going to make any lane changes. Our trip is going to keep in the right lane until we exit onto Gulf Road at the mall area. And we'll get a little bit of a chance to see how well the car performs coming through this right-hand turn up here. I wouldn't expect any issues. The drive has been very well, exemplary so far today that I've observed. And so as we come up here, I think I can safely wrap up this drive. I just want to provide some thoughts. So other than me fumbling with the screen to put in routes and get us to navigate, I feel like the car has been driving very well. And even off camera, before I started the video, on earlier drives today, I noticed the car does behave very nicely. Coming up on exits from the highway to an exit and a right-hand turn, the car appropriately put on turn signal, kept the speed up until right at the point of the exit where it started to slow down. Again, it feels so much more human-like than previous versions of full self-driving beta. So one more turn here and we'll end the drive. So as we go into that, I just want to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button on your way out, and we will catch you on the next one. Nice job. Good job, FSD Beta. Love this version.